The cake trembled in her tiny hands as the classroom filled with the sound of laughter, balloons rustling against the ceiling, and the cheerful tune of Happy Birthday. But in the very next moment the cheer gave way to gasps. A sudden movement shook the room as the powerful police dog lunged forward, its eyes locked on the cake, ablaze with flickering candles. The children froze. The teacher's hand covered her mouth in shock, and the officer standing by the doorway pressed his hands against his head, helpless and stunned. No one could believe what they were seeing on what was supposed to be the happiest day of little Emily's life. Before I tell you what happened next, pause for a second. If you believe in kindness, second chances, or the extraordinary loyalty of animals, then please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Positive Tales. Your support helps us bring more stories of love, courage, and hope into the world. Emily had been waiting for this birthday for what felt like forever. At 7 years old, birthdays weren't just about cake or gifts. They were about feeling special, about being surrounded by people who made her heart feel safe. But Emily didn't always feel that way. Her father had been deployed overseas for over a year, and her mother worked 2 jobs just to keep the family afloat. For Emily, joy was rare, and loneliness often sat heavy on her little shoulders. So when her teacher announced they would celebrate in class, it meant everything to her. She walked into school that morning with her birthday hat perched proudly on her head and a sparkle of hope in her eyes. But there was another unexpected guest that day, Rex, a German shepherd police dog. He had been brought in by Officer Daniels for a simple demonstration to the class about safety and the work that police dogs do. Rex wasn't known for being the warmest dog. His life had been about discipline, strict training, and sometimes danger. While he was loyal to his handler, he rarely showed affection to strangers, and his intimidating presence often made children shrink back nervously. When Emily first saw him enter the room, she felt both awe and fear. His coat gleamed under the classroom lights, his muscles tense and powerful, his deep eyes scanning everything. The demonstration had gone smoothly, but just as the children prepared to celebrate Emily's birthday, Rex seemed to grow restless. His ears perked at the sound of laughter, and his nose twitched at the sugary scent of frosting. Officer Daniels kept a close watch, but even he couldn't predict what was about to happen. As Emily held the cake, candles dancing on top, Rex suddenly lunged forward. His bark rang through the room like thunder. The kids screamed, the teacher froze, and Officer Daniels could only shout in panic. In that instant, Emily's heart nearly stopped. She thought the dog was going for the cake, or worse, for her. She squeezed her eyes shut, bracing for the worst. But when she opened them again, she saw something no one had expected. Rex wasn't attacking. He wasn't after the cake. Instead, he had knocked the cake slightly aside and was staring intently at the flames. The room fell silent. That's when Officer Daniels realized the truth. Rex had smelled the faintest hint of smoke, not from the candles, but from a faulty wire in the decorations that was about to ignite. In his own way, Rex was trying to protect everyone in the room. The shock turned into awe. The children gasped, not out of fear this time, but in wonder. The teacher's eyes filled with tears as she realized what had just been avoided. Officer Daniels rushed to unplug the dangerous cord, and the classroom was safe again, all thanks to Rex. Emily looked down at the brave dog, who was now sitting calmly, his chest rising and falling as if nothing extraordinary had happened. But to Emily it meant everything. From that moment, something inside her changed. Emily, who had always struggled to believe in her own importance, suddenly felt seen, protected, and cherished. She crouched down and hugged Rex tightly, her little arms wrapped around his strong neck. To everyone's surprise, Rex didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned into her embrace, closing his eyes with a soft sigh. It was the first time Officer Daniels had ever seen Rex respond with such gentleness to anyone other than himself. It was as if the hardened police dog had chosen Emily as his own. Over the next weeks, Rex became more than just a visitor to the classroom. Officer Daniels noticed the special bond between the dog and the girl, and he began bringing Rex by more often. Emily's classmates, who once feared the imposing German Shepherd, now saw him as a hero, and Emily became known as the girl who had earned his trust. For a child who had long carried loneliness like a shadow, the love of this unexpected friend became a light she carried everywhere. The story of Emily and Rex spread beyond the classroom, reaching the community. People were inspired by the bond between a little girl longing for connection and a dog who had spent his life in service, always strong but never truly loved in return. Their friendship reminded everyone that even the toughest hearts can soften when they find the right person to love. So when you see this moment, the moment where a police dog's leap left everyone in shock, remember it wasn't an act of aggression. It was an act of love, a fierce, protective instinct that saved a classroom of children and gave one little girl a lifelong friend. If this story touched your heart, please like, share and subscribe to Positive Tales. Stories like this remind us that hope can come from the most unexpected places, and that loyalty, whether from a person or a dog, can change a life forever. And before you go, I have one special request. Comment below and tell us, has an animal ever surprised you with their love or bravery? We'd love to hear your story.